everybody, welcome back to On the Grid, and something a little different today than the usual game-focused content in this video. Just to be clear, this is not a sponsored video. I did actually purchase this for myself. I've been in the market for the last few months looking for a new button box, and it's not really sponsored because I wanted to give you an honest opinion of how I felt about this, my experience with this button box. So this is more of a point of view versus a review of the product. I guess about a month ago, I was surfing around looking for a new button box. Does anybody actually use the word surfing anymore? Whatever, maybe I was showing my age. I've been using this button box here from Ignition Controls, I'd say for about 3 or 4 years. And Ignition Controls have been around since, say, 2010, 2011. And anybody who's had a Thrustmaster T500 probably has heard of the moving paddle mod. And that's Rem, who's behind Ignition Controls. He started out by creating this initially and then moved from there to creating button boxes. I really liked the layout of this. The size was nice and compact, and the fact that they included stickers was really cool, and I thought that was a nice bonus. But there was a couple of things that I didn't like, and one of those was it being hardwired. So hardwired kind of had me concerned a bit because sometimes I would forget to disconnect my cables from the PC and when I'm moving my rig, and you can imagine the heart attack moment when you see everything kind of coming off the desk. So I had a little freak out moment there a few times. So it's looking forward to seeing this new one because the new one does have a disconnected cable, or one that you plug in. And the other thing is on the back of this button box, there is 4 VESA mounts. These are M4 screws. But this original button box, I guess this was in the first stages when you started creating button boxes. I had one of these solder points kind of come loose, and I ended up having to take this apart and tighten it from the inside to make sure. But really, aside from that, these are really great button boxes. So I started to stick with that, and I wanted to order the NA2 RDE6. Now there's a few different models that they have on the website, and I kind of going back and forth with Rem, talking about what he suggested would be the best button box to go with, and he suggested a few different ones, and I end up going with the NA2 RDE6, and I liked it because it had a different style button, so I'll show you that now. This is the NA2 RDE6, and it's beauty. I mean, my first impression is wow. I mean, nice evolution from the original button box that I had. But I ordered this on a Friday, and I guess, well, take away the weekend, it arrived in 3 business days. Now, coming from Europe, that's pretty amazing. So I was quite impressed with that already. And this just looks and feels like a really high quality product. So I really want to just walk you through some of the different features that this had. Now, this is quite a bit bigger than my original one, so I just want to do a quick measurement of it. So let's see the size. So this is a 6 by 10. So this one is quite a bit bigger than my original one. My original one was, say, 6 by 7 or 6 by 6, something like that. So this is quite a bit bigger. But I picked the model with the low profile LEDs, and you have 8 of them here. And these have a really nice feature, a really nice touch to them. The other ones come with like the Sanwa buttons, and then there's other normal push buttons like my previous button box. But I really like the understated look of these, and they do feel really nice. So you can see they have just a really, really low profile to them, which I really liked. It does have 6 rotary encoders as well. These 4 across the top are pulsing encoders and have integrated switches, so they feel quite a bit lighter than the ones down here in the bottom, which don't have the switches. Now, these are really nice because they can be mapped for quite a few different things. You can map them for volume controls, force feedback strength, traction control, engine mapping, field of view, seat heights, and so on. You can also actually map your favorite page. Say, for example, you're in ACC and you want to map one of your multifunction displays. You can quickly map it to a push of this button. So each one of these has a switch, so you can just push them to activate that. But it also, you can set them for increasing or decreasing any of your, any of the mappings that you want. So it's a really, really great thing for that. Now, these ones down here have a much thicker kind of feel to them. They feel a lot more clicky than these do. That's because these have the integrated switch and these don't. So really, really like that. These also have you have 3 on-off toggles. One has a safety cover here, so this you can map this, for your ignition switch, and you also have one here. This mapped to a dedicated LED. So this is a flashing LED. Once you turn that on, this will flash, and I'll show you that in a bit once we get this plugged in. You also have this one here. This trigger here. This activates all the lights on the on the button box. And then you also have one other one here. These are on off, they're not return spring, so they're just either on or off. And so I like the fact that you have, you know, these three all kind of located right next to each other. I also like the fact that they have this nice big engine start button, which is a nice, you know, solid feel to it, which is really good. It does feel quality. Every button on here does not feel cheap at all. I really like the size of this 4-way joystick. So if you see it kind of sticks out nice from the side there. So it's really quick and easy to get to, especially when you have the lights down and you're, you know, playing at night. So I kind of use this sometimes for my reverse look. So if I'm driving and I just reach over and I can just tap this really quickly to look at my, you know, reverse. But you know, it's just a 4-way toggle. It's not an analog, so it's up, down, left, right. And the box is powder coated. It has, you know, an all metal enclosure, and what I really like is you can see how that ignition controls is cut right into the metal there. That looks really sharp. But I mean, it is a big boy, and you'll see the brackets there on the back, but I'll show you that in a second. It is definitely a solid made button box. There's, you know, talking with Rem, he's explaining a bit about the work that goes behind putting this together, and he's explaining that there's over 100 solder points. So there's a lot of manual work that goes into this button box. So I like to kind of know what goes on behind the scenes, and just I'm the kind of person who will ask all these questions. I like to know, you know, how this button box was put together, a little bit of the history, a little bit of the story. So really for me, I find it important when I'm buying a product to kind of know what went into putting this product together. So all right, let's take a look at the back. So on the back you have the 4 VESA mounts, and you can see here I have my L brackets. These are the L brackets that I use on my P1X. So on my previous R-Seat RS1, I had a button box holder. So I basically just, you know, connected the 4 VESA mounts straight to the button box holder. But on the P1X, it's not as easy. You got to kind of figure out how you want to mount it. You can buy the SimLab button box holder, but I figured, you know, this works really easy, and I'll show you an image in a few minutes how I connect this to my button box. So basically, it's just the L bracket. So you can see I have the M4 screw attached into there, and then I just use the screws with the T-nuts that come with the SimLab P1X, and I just connect that there. So it works really great for me. Also, what I was mentioning originally that I didn't like about the original button box is it was hard connected. Now this one is not hardwired, so you can remove it, and it's a USB-B type plug. And so I like the fact that I can remove that, and it's a nice solid cable. It's a 1.8 meter that comes with it, but you can order longer if you want when you're doing your checkout. I just figured I'd go with the 1.8 meter because my computer and button box are not far from each other, so it works perfect for me. Let's put this over here because, of course, you also get the stickers that come with it. So, and these are not cheap stickers by any means. So these are, you know, good quality stickers. You get 2 pages in the black, and you have pretty much everything you'd want. You know, HUD, data, display, up, down, and they come in the white as well, which are a little bit more difficult to see, but depending on how you know, what you want to do. I mean, you could put the white color on there, or you can put the black color. For now, I'm not going to put anything on there, but you know, these are really good quality stickers, and the fact that he includes this with the product, I think is really great, so I don't have to be printing these out myself. So what I'm going to do is let's turn down the lights, and I want to show you what this looks like lit up. So let's just move this stuff out of the way. All right, so I just basically dimmed the lights out. I don't want to make it completely black, and this is not the cable that comes with. This is just some thin cheap cable that I had laying around because I already have my USB type B plug connected and wired through my P1X. So rather than pull that off, I just plugged an extra one in, but the cable that comes with it is quite thick, so it's a really good quality. But you can see here, these lights are actually red. They're not orange as they look here. But you can see it's quite nice. I mean, it is really bright, and I like the fact that it is bright because when I'm racing, I usually have my lights down quite low, or even off, just so I can be completely immersed in my race. And so the fact that these have, you know, bright lights are really great. This one here, I'll show you, this is the flashing LED. So the flashing LED, what I have it mapped to is my pit limiter, so I know when I'm in the pits flashing. So when I get out, I just click it off. So right away I know that my pit limiter is off, but you can map it however you want. So I mean, it's really up to you. This one here, as I said, this is the switch that toggles off and on the lights. So really quickly, pretty simple. I mean, it's a really good looking box. So pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is let's show you what this looks like connected to my P1X. So we'll just get this off. I'll put it on my P1X and we'll swap over to that. We'll be back in 2 seconds. so far, after I'd say a few days, maybe 3-4 days now, since Wednesday, Thursday. So I guess, yeah, about 3-4 days I've had the product, and I'm really happy with it. I know Rem has been working on improving everything when it comes to his ignition products, but like any company, there's always growing pains. But seeing where this product has evolved to, I think he's pretty much hit his stride in delivering a good quality product. So I hope you enjoyed that, my point of view on the ignition controls NA2 button box. Like I said, there's multiple versions on there. There's even VR models that are offered with a few different layouts for it. But if you have any questions, if you're actually in the market of purchasing a button box and you're curious to know about this, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer any of those questions. So until next time, take care.